Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So this is part 3 of my Scrappy Duck. If you've just found me, I'm using Lesley's pattern. She's very famous for Henrik the Hare, and she's just released a new pattern with Scrappy Duck here. And I've reduced the pattern by 50% to make a small duck. He's also going to sit on his feet instead of stand, and he's going to be a pincushion. So I'm very excited to be at this next stage because I've cladded him with all of his scrappy bits, kept it very neutral. And now I'd like to have a play and embellish him a little with some feathers, sort of build his wings out a little bit. So I've got some floral fabrics here that I've sort of just had put aside for maybes. So we've got those, and then I've got some laces too. I've got more laces just off camera, so if there's nothing here, I can, reach and keep pulling. But I'm trying to keep it a little bit limited. Otherwise, it just gets out of hand. So, how are we going to approach this? I'm sort of going to need things that are scrolly, like feather-like, and this particular lace caught my eye a few days ago. So I've thought maybe nibbling out some of these little elements. This is not a certain shape, is it? No. Okay. Hope you can all see. Yep, that looks pretty good. I'm just looking up at the TV screen that my iPad projects to. Let's get some of these little pieces. I don't know, that's just a flower, I think. So is that the same as that? It's in reverse, so we might grab that. And I think the plan is just to layer things and keep it loose, interesting, to the side of his body. And just lots of little bits and pieces, I think. Well, that's what I've got in my head. See, that piece is different again. So there is, the more you look, the more I'm seeing different styles with this within this lace. That might be enough to get me started. Sorry, Scrappy Duck. The other thing I'd like to do is when I first started him, I found this piece of fabric in the cupboard, and I'd like him to have a bit of a floral feel. So I thought maybe I could cut out a piece of this and weave it in amongst it. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm just going to fussy cut that out. There are some little pieces. See those scrolls there? That little guy. Let's take them as well. I don't know if I'll need them, but I think they might give him a very unique look. So we'll take that. Even that bud, if we come back, just remember that bud's there. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more. So how are you all going with your Scrappy Ducks? I'm seeing heaps pop up on the Facebook site. It's really fun to watch. All right, I might just get a little bit more shape into it so it feels a little bit more swishy, a bit of movement. So can't really go that side, but then I guess the wings would go down. That could work. Or it goes that side and the wings go up. I think they probably go more up than down, don't they? Let's just grab some pins and just pin it. Can always change it. And then my thoughts are we build some pieces in with it. So it just keeps adding to that layered feathery look. So we need a piece that can come up. Maybe that can go there. So we still see that, but we've got this lace coming through there. Yeah, I like that. This should come together reasonably well. And if that could even hang, you know, instead of forcing that around that end, it may even be stitched a bit and then let it hang. So he has that feathery, fluffy look. Now let's have a look through here. Can we merge something in up here? I want to use it as a pin cushion, so I've got to be mindful of going too far into space where pins would need to go. Okay, so there's a wrong and a right side to this lace. Okay, what do we like? Do we like the flatter side or do we like the shimmer? I think I like the shimmer, you know. That means this piece needs to be readjusted. It might be better suited up here now. Yeah, that actually is going to go there, I think. We need to still see that. But I do like how that maybe just bear with me as I fiddle. I think I need to cut this right out. So then that gives me the ability to lift it up and over that other piece to make it feel like it's merging together a little better. So I like, this is the best part, scrapping up your pattern, whatever critter you are working on. There's a few to choose from now. Yeah, I like that. And I'm thinking by cutting that out, I could potentially then have that come up just to soften that. Yeah, I like that. I am getting a little high onto the back of the duck. Is that going to be a problem when it comes to pins? Maybe I take it more down instead of up there. Open up that shoulder. A bit of pin space. That then lets that leaf there have a bit of space to... Might as well push all the pins in because it is going to be a pin cushion, so that is going to work a treat. I've just got to decide whether that's going to be a problem. I do like it, but I love how he's got a bit of interest to him. So do we... Oh, yeah. If I bring that down a bit, I could probably trim that end off. Okay, so that's going. That's just blue ink that doesn't need to be seen through the lace. I might bring that down a fraction. It's coming together. That should ease into position there. Okay, so there's the side of the duck. He's a bit fancy. Okay, now, did we want to do something with that bud? No, I think once he sits, the bud won't be seen because the line of sight won't see it. I've got plenty of room for pins and things there. Let's go to the other side. And what are we going to do this side? I really like this big piece. Maybe we make that a feature. Let's see. We'll snip it out or fussy cut it out. Like so. Okay. Oh, aren't you fancy? Let's just pin it in and see what else we can come up with to go from it. Doesn't have to be identical both sides. I prefer if it didn't. It sort of makes him a little bit more interesting. What about some of these other fabrics? They're sort of, I don't know. I've got these little flowers here too. Is there anything there? Those little yellow ones are cute. Once all the blue fabric's cut away, but are they sort of very nondescript? Could put them around there. Let's just audition them. Okay, so we'll just fussy cut them out, leaving a bit of that navy blue, and then I might rough it up a little bit so it looks a little bit more scruffy. Carefully rough it up. Just want it to feel a little bit looser. Where's his feet? Let's pretend he's got his feet on. They're going to be attached to the bottom. I don't like it. No. I don't even think I like these anymore, unless I do something. What are we going to do, young fella? Fancy, fancy fellow. There's his little beak. Now we could probably position them. Now these I'll stitch on actually pretty soon. Lesley in her 2 instructional videos suggests using a curved needle, which I do have. I'm not sure if I'll actually need it because my guy is so small. I'd probably be able to get my needle through, catch him, come out the bottom pretty easily. So, but I do have a curved needle if I feel that I need to. And she says too to really stretch his cheeks of his bill around the corner of his head, like really peel that out, because it'll make it easier for this here to get attached to his head when it comes time to stitch through there. So get these edges right out to the perimeter. Okay, I love that side. That came together really well. I love that fabric. I'm so pleased I was able to use it. There's his little feet and his beak. This will be good for pins. So maybe I just need to back away a little bit and just do something gentle in there. That's a term you can use for sewing. Let's have a look at these scrolly bits and this little flower. Maybe I just fiddle with this. Let's fussy cut these out, because there is that rosebud too. Turn him around. Maybe I just tuck that ever so slightly there. Yeah. The afternoon sun's starting to creep in, so I hope that's not affecting. You see the lights come down on him. I hope that doesn't affect what you guys can see. I wonder if we cut these out as well. Now this particular fabric would unravel really, really easily. So I might even, before I attach this, just to give it that little extra, like there'll be plenty of stitches, I might just run a little bit of glue. And I'm going to use art glitter glue because A, it has a nice point so I can get a fine line of it, and B, it dries really quickly. So I can pretty much pick up the piece and apply it within a few seconds. And that will just sit in behind there. And just in case the duck gets roughed up, you know, considering it's going to be a pin cushion, my hands will be grabbing at him all the time. So we need to know he's going to survive. We'll just let that sit for a moment. Might just grab that one out, because I'd say that's a definite position. And we'll just do the same. There's heaps of glues on the market that you can use. I just like this because the applicator at the end is really good for this type of fine work. Now that is nearly dry. It's so good. The other beauty of it is it also gives it potentially tacks it down. A few globby bits, so I'm just going to pat it. And that'll just take a few lumps away. And that can be put into position. Whoops. I'm going to go up and over that. Yeah, love it. That little bit of glue won't go astray, and just keeping it from fraying and falling to bits on me. Okay. Now this little guy. Come here, duck. Stand up. Now the sun's really coming in. What if I was to make that go around his neck? I like that. Just drifts it a little bit around the corner. I am going into the pins, but oh goodness. If he was an ornamental duck, I wouldn't think twice in putting that there. But it's just more things for the pins to pierce. So I might just have a look at putting it across his chest. I don't mind that. And then maybe there's a little bit of lace that could come in there as well, across the front of him. What about that piece? A few scrolly feathers have flicked forward on him. Oh, that sun. I could tuck it under there. That makes his chest look interesting. But not interesting enough. It's nearly... Oh, turn it upside down. When all else fails, turn it upside down. Look at that sun. Goodness me. Let's come around this side. Maybe this piece could be better used in here. Yeah, that's where it's going. Right there. That's better. It's the start of some movement across his back. And that can just look like it's connected in there. Now I wonder, that rosebud, I'm determined to use it, aren't I? I might just pause the video. I'm going to pull a curtain across. It doesn't do a great deal, but it does dampen it. So I'll be back in a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. I've pulled the curtain across and it's marginally better. It's good here, but there's still a bit of light coming through over here. So I hope you can still see. Now, where were we? The rose. Let's have a look at this rose. Where was it? It was like poking up down here. Just thin it back a little bit. Maybe that can come out of there. No, see, that's where those pins are going. Got to restrain myself. What about out the back there? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. That looks like that vine, which doesn't exist, has extended out the back. Yeah, I like that. I might just do the whole glue thing first. If you want your, your whole duck to look really scrappy, well, you probably wouldn't worry about what I'm doing here, but I don't know. I just think that this fabric will break down pretty quickly with me touching it all the time. Popping pins in, picking it up, moving it, taking it to other areas when I do stitching. So I just want to make sure. Yeah, I like that. Might swish it up or swish it down. Might swish it down. Yeah, really good. Really, really good. I love I got that big flower on there. I don't know about this piece. Yeah, I don't think I need it. I like this detail. Yeah, it's gone for now. It's a bit too blobby. I'm not seeing the scroll as good as I could. Yeah, no. I think if anything, I'd rather a piece of lace. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So what I might do, most of that's protected. So let's see if I can be really tricky without moving anything. get some glue in here on this little edge, just to reinforce it a little. That's definitely where my hands would go. And push that down. Like so. Move that pin, and that pin comes out. I should be able to get in there. Ooh, that's a lot of glue. There's a bit of warmth coming into my craft room due to the afternoon sun. So that makes that art glitter glue rise up and potentially ooze out everywhere. Okay. That's good. That's good. It's just a little extra security. He's going to be a well-used duck, and I would hate for his bits to fray too much. Okay, now I want to stitch all that down. So I've got a couple threads here. I'm using crochet cotton number 12, so it's nice and fine. Grab myself a needle, and I might just focus on those bits first. The lace I will do with little stitches using just common old cotton, I think, because they don't need to be featured. Where I want to make a bit of a feature of this type of product, or this type of patchy bit. Make the flowers look a bit more interesting. Yeah, that's really good. I'll probably use, what will I use for his beak? Oh, I guess I could use either one of these. If I wanted to see my stitches, I'd use this crochet cotton. If I didn't want to see the stitches, I'd use normal cotton. What I might do, I think I'll stitch it first with normal cotton. That'll get it on. And then if I feel that I want to show more of a stitched on rough looking beak look, I can always go back with the crochet cotton and place a few nice little stitches here and there so it looks like the crochet cotton's doing the job, but in fact it's already secured with that. I need to put my little rubber silicone thimble on. I can feel my finger is getting a little tender, and because I'm having to push this little fellow, this needle through this little guy, it's aggravating an old wound, numerous old wounds. What else can we put on our little guy? I'm thinking maybe a couple buttons. He's sitting on my craft desk. He literally could have anything stitched on him. I guess as I do projects and I have something left over, I could literally just stitch it on him. That'd be fun. I'll just lift this lace a fraction and slip in under here. That's it. Now I might just come up here. I love how every duck, every cat, every rabbit or hare is different. It is so good. Such a creative little project. And so many of you are stitching fabrics in that have memories too. Like, it's just such a lovely way to remember someone, if there's a piece of clothing that's been used in the project. It's just, yeah, really, really nice. Just take my time. I've got obstacles in the way here. I could make it easy for myself and remove that little piece of lace, but I really like the angle that it's sitting at. And when you have positioned something, you don't really want to lose it. You just take your time and work around it. Take my time. Take the pin out. Come on. I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating. Talk about make it hard for myself by having all that lace sitting there. I probably should have stitched it down first. Then this would not be catching as much. Didn't think of that. Let's push that one back because I'm going to need to end off. Oh, come on. I'm trying to catch the calico duck underneath all of this too. It just helps secure all the layers together and keep him nice and tight. Let's go this way. I might feel like I'm so cack-handed. Might end that off because my thread's just getting a little bit too small and I don't need to be struggling as much. So let's get rid of that. What I might do is pick up the cotton this time, go back to where I was and work the piece of lace into position. And then I can get rid of those pins and grab it and stitch. That's better. So now it's just same principle, little stitches. Just to tack all of that down. And the closer together they are, the more secure it'll be, the less likely threads will get caught. So I'm going to take my time with the lace and really get that tacked down. Yeah, that's going to be good. Looks like there's two cords or thick edges to this lace, and I'm bringing my needle up between them. Otherwise, I just can't seem to penetrate them. It's not the easiest of laces to be stitching down, of course. Yeah, that's going to take a bit of time. But it'll be good once it's done. You can see there's like a ridge and it's the needle's hitting that and really pushing to get through. But that's all right. We will get it all secure. Okay, so I might just leave that there and I can carry on with that. I don't want to bore you guys with that sort of stitching. That will go back down there into position. I'm still not convinced that that's a good move going up there. Maybe I can push it back a bit. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to manipulate that back. That's better. Okay. So let's have a think about his tail feathers. Now in Lesley's video, she does a little piece of triangular fabric for his tail feathers. Let's have a little play ourselves, and we need to do a tuft for the top of his head. I did keep some threads. I just want to put a few more pins in before I get carried away on something else. Yep, nice and secure. Okay, Mr. Duck. The bill, we'll come back and do the eyes when I find the template for the eyes. So as for his, maybe I can use something with this fabric. So I want to pull in the two colours a little bit more, like link the dark blue with the dark blue with the soft blue, like make it feel like this is more cohesive. Maybe we can do something, I don't know, I'm just going to have a play with some fabric, see what feathery thing we can put a tuft in there. What feathery thing we could potentially create. The other thing that I had was those threads. Now, where did they get to? Here they are. These came out of this fabric. And I remember at the time thinking, gee, they'd make great feathers, wouldn't they? So maybe we can add that into the center there just to start softening up his tail. And I've got this fabric. Maybe I can cut a bit of a feathery shape like I did the blue. We could use all sorts. What else could we add to our little tail? And then that gets stitched at the end there as a little tuft. I'm thinking I might add something crocheted. What have we got sitting in our box of tricks here? Oh, what about my crocheted snippy bits? Where are they? Nothing there. Nothing there. I might have to go to these containers. I just need a little bit, like, you know, a tiny little bit. Just adds a little bit of interest on his tail. I wonder if there's another one. Yes. Okay. So that can go either side. As long as we have a bit of a flat edge there, which I think we will, to then attach it to his tail. Okay, needle and thread. Let's have a go at this. It really is just scraps. And you can do whatever you want. I need a pin in it because I need to put it down. Let's have a look. There's another little bit. So we're going to do a tuft on his head too. So let's select a needle. And stitch through it a few times just to secure. I did think about putting a feather in, but I don't know. I know I've got some somewhere, but I sort of felt like it was a bit odd to have a random chicken feather sitting on a duck. I don't know. Just seemed a bit wrong. So I think we'll just stick to using textiles and bits and pieces for Mr. Duck. He's no chicken. That should pretty much hold it. Can always put some more stitches in it, but I tend to think that that looks pretty good. Can take that out. Could even bend that down in, give a different look again. Oh, look, you could just do so much. Oh, gosh, where do you stop? So now it's a case of just working out where you'd like your little tail to sit. Do you want it on the side? Do you want it on the top? Do you want it straddling? Try and make it straddle a little bit right to the end. Oh, how cute. Oh. He already had a bit of a funny ducky tail where the fabrics came to a point there. You gorgeous thing. Oh, look at him. Oh, I love it. Like how I've got that little pop of dark blue in there too now. It's just starting to tie it all together, isn't it? A few more stitches. It's a little wobbly still. Can't have a wobbly ducky tail. A few going back through there will really secure it. Yep. So the needles come undone. Unthreaded, I mean, not the needles come undone. I've got some of those crocheted pieces that are in the full shape. I might even dig some of them out when I start stitching down all of that lace. I might even creep another one in here. I sort of feel like it could, got a bit of space there. Pop a little guy in. Just folded that piece of fabric back down to expose that. Oh gosh, seriously, the fun you can have with these things. And I love how there's no rules. It's just whatever you feel like. That's good. Oh, I know what I could put there. A button right there. It would look like the button's holding on his tail. How sweet. Oh, I think I have maybe one of those old linen buttons. Let me have a little look. I know I've got plenty of blue buttons. Sorry guys. Plenty of, I got those. I got some little blue ones, and even when I was getting the buttons, I spotted some blue. Oh, I actually like these. That's a bit too blendy, I think. I spotted a blue satin rose. There's one of them sitting there in my box of Got a Bit of Everything box. Really need to sort it out one day box. You know that box? But I'm loving this little blue button. Every self-respecting duck needs a button. Oh, yeah. Aren't you cute? This is going to be a challenge to actually stitch on. Take my time. I remember a trick where you wind it around. Helps secure it. Let's come back up. How are we going for time? Well, it's at least 2 stitches through. It's not like it's holding a shirt together. So we can get away with a slightly less secure button. But yeah, that's cute. Little button on his bottom. Aww. Ducky, I do love it. Now I might just fiddle with this because I don't want to see the back of that fabric. So I might just come back through and put the odd little stitch in. Just to, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking things, but I might do something with that. Just tucking it in, stitch it down, tuck it in, stitch it down. You know when you've got nothing else better to do, stitching wise, you start stitching plumage down on ducks. Yeah, I like that. I think I'll do that. I might put the, let's do it now. Because I just had an idea. I'm thinking of stitching this crocheted edge together. So it looks like it's a half, it's a full one that's been closed in on him. I am seriously overthinking this duck and his plumage. I've still got one of these left too. So what I'm thinking of doing is coming up here, catching the end of that fabric, bury the knot in there, and then going down into there, and that will drag. Oh, okay. Knot came through fabric. One can't do it as easy as one thought she could, so we're going to do a little stitch. You guys are probably struggling to see that due to the light. Little stitch or 2 first. Now we're going to drag that point back into here, and it's going to create quite a loop and make it look like he's got a curly tail feather. Oh, I'm so overthinking this. And secured. Then I'll just come through with another stitch. Just going to add a little bit of interest. It's going to have a real curl to the top of his tail. Now I'm thinking this one, if I bring the needle up through there, catch that end, and pull it back down through the back, all in one slick movement. Oh, it's fiddly. You're probably looking at this going, I'm not going to bother with that. And you don't have to. I'm just mucking around. So now that is in position. Might just do a random stitch just to make sure. Can't hurt stitch. Now I'm going to come back up. I might catch that guy next. The last stitch. It's going to give it quite a curly look to his little tail. Come back in here. There we go. Oh. So now what I'm thinking is coming up the back here and just putting a few more stitches in so it looks like that's a little bit more joined than what it actually was. It's like a corset of fabric. It'll be really secure. I've got probably more stitches than anyone's ever going to put onto a tail of a duck. That's good. That feels like it's got a little bit of a fluted bit, got little feathery bits in there. Okay guys, we might leave it at that. I need to go away and stitch all of these elements on. Stop mucking around with these tail feathers. That was a bend. So we'll snip that so it looks looser. Oh, you sweet, sweet boy. Got a fibre caught from something, but not what it's meant to be from. So he's got three little, oh, look at that. Oh, ducky. He's just a gorgeous. Oh, love him. Okay, guys, I will finish stitching all this on. I will stitch on his beak, and we will see you in the next video where we will do his eyes, we'll do his little tuft and his little feet. So have a lovely week, and I will see you all soon in the next video. Bye.